Grip socks. It seems like every man and his dog has started selling grip socks. Everyone's decided that they can do it, and everyone's decided that they can charge €25 for a terrible pair of socks. Honestly, half of the grip socks on the market right now, in my opinion, are absolute trash. And they've all sprung up in the last 6 months. Everyone's gone, I can make money like that because it's a low price product to create that has somehow managed to create a market where we seem to be willing to pay 25 to 35 euros for a pair. Absolute goddamn madness. Today, we're gonna do something that is going to be dangerous, I think. Boot Wizard is a very small channel. Josh over at SR4U, he's a very big channel with a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers and a lot of people who really, really love what he does. So, I'm gonna review his socks. Eep. What's up guys, I'm James and welcome to Boot Wizard Boot Reviews. And yes, we're doing a very dangerous review today. I am gonna take on the SR4U Pure Grip Socks. So let's get straight into it. Like this video, get subscribed to the channel. If you can support us, head to patreon.com/bootwizard and let me know down in the comments what your favorite grip sock brand is. Here we go. All right, so let's start with Pure Grip Socks' biggest selling point, the thing that's been pushed the hardest about these particular socks, and that is the price. These are $15 US, which without question is significantly cheaper than what you're gonna pay for a lot of other grip socks. I mentioned in my intro, you're looking at 25 to 35 euros or dollars to pick up a pair of grip socks from most brands. So like if we go through some of what we've got here, Nike grip socks, you're looking at about 25 euros. True socks, 35. Let's not worry about those for now, they're terrible. We're looking at something like these, the tape design socks. These are 25. So they are definitely coming in cheaper than most other grip socks that you can buy. However, they are frequently advertised as being the cheapest grip socks on the market, which isn't true, if I'm being honest with you. All you've got to do is be a little bit smart, a little bit savvy, and I have an example right here. These are the Steps grip socks, which when you initially look at the price, you may think are more expensive. However, Steps constantly has 20, 30% off discount codes and sales and things like that. So, okay, they are some of the cheapest socks on the market, and they certainly are not crazy expensive. If you go and look at something like a Nike Crew sock, a Nike Crew sock is going to cost you 10 euros for a non-grip pair of socks. So, not stupid expensive, even if on the whole, football socks and grip socks are just simply too expensive. However, while we're talking about cost and outlay, we also have to talk about the shipping costs. In order for me to get these at the time, I got these literally the day that they were released, and it cost me $10 US to have them shipped to me here in Ireland. Now, when you consider that the sock is $15, you're adding $10 onto the price. You're almost doubling the price of the sock just to get it shipped. Now, this isn't really, or I don't imagine it's really Pure Grip Socks, Josh. It's not really their fault. Shipping is shipping, like you pay what you pay. And at the moment, and this is the same for most companies worldwide, these are even more expensive. It's $15 to get them shipped to me here in Ireland. So you literally pay the price of the socks to have them shipped to you, which is frustrating, annoying, and like I say, you can only level so much criticism at a company for their shipping costs. However, when you compare it to the Steps grip socks, I got these shipped for about $3, and they came from Australia. So it is possible. They did take a bit longer, and I would like to see a cheaper shipping method because, if I'm being honest, why would I spend $30 on a pair of socks that's supposed to be cheap when you include postage, when I can go out and buy, for example, a True Sock or maybe even something like a Nike Grip, both socks that I think are superior to the Pure Grip socks for less money when you put postage on top. So that's a problem, but there's only so much criticism I can level at that. Small company, shipping is shipping. Of course, the big appeal of grip socks is that you get these sticky rubber or whatever they're made out of, tacky elements that go onto the bottom of your socks, and they grip onto the inside of your shoe, inside of your boot, and stop you moving around. These has these. We'll get into them in a second. But if I'm being honest, one of the first things and one of the most important things I look for in a pair of socks is actually the fit, because it's no good having amazing grip elements if the socks simply don't fit you very well. So, what are the ups and downs of the fit on the Pure Grip socks? Well, firstly, something that, again, comparing them to those Steps grip socks, something I might do a lot because they're similar price ranges and they are similar socks, these are anatomically shaped. So that does mean that they come with a right and a left sock, which are designed to fit your right and left foot, which makes perfect sense, of course, because your feet are both shaped differently. Something like the Steps is just a standard rounded end, one for each, the same for each foot. Having the anatomical shape on the Pure Grip socks is definitely a bonus and definitely something that I can get behind. These also come in sizes, something that boggles my mind that companies don't do. Things like, for example, the Tape Design socks. Now, Tape Design, these are €25 to get a pair, and they don't come anatomically shaped, and they come in one length. They are one size fits all. Now, I don't know if about you, but for me, one size fits all is not a thing, not for socks, not for performance socks at least, and particularly for someone like me. I have fairly small feet. I frequently wear a US 8, so UK 7, UK 7.5 size, so socks tend to end up being that little bit too big if they are one size fits all, and there's nothing worse than having excess material inside your boot. You're gonna start getting blisters, it's just gonna be uncomfortable. So, Pure Grip socks, they come in 3 different sizes, and massive, massive plus for that because you get socks that fit you better. Another win. And finally, when it comes to the fit, we've got to talk about the compression. How well does that sock fit around your foot and stay put? How comfortable is it? And that comes down to the construction and the quality of the materials. This is an area where the Pure Grip socks are average at best. There's not a particularly great amount of compression here. And while I did say, you know, obviously it's great that they are anatomically shaped and it's great that they do come in sizes, I don't overall love the fit here. I think that the heel is shaped poorly. It doesn't fit around my heel very well. There's excess material, and despite that anatomical shape, I do find that there is extra material out in the corners just because of the way that the sock is stitched. And of course, you do get this stretchy kind of compression area across the top here, which is great, but it's not super effective. It doesn't feel much beyond what you would get from a good pair of what you might describe as tennis socks when it comes to the fit here. I would apply that also to the quality of the sock. It's decent, it's not bad, but at the same time, I don't think it's anything special, and it's just average. But again, we discussed at the beginning, these do come in a lot cheaper than most other grip socks on the market. So again, we can take the Tape Design. This isn't a sock I love, in case you haven't already noticed, but the material quality here does feel a little bit better. It's a bit softer. It's a bit more enjoyable and comfortable to wear when compared to the Pure sock, but it's also more expensive. So you are getting what you pay for to a degree here. So grip socks, let's talk about the grip elements. Pure Grip have gone for this triangular design, which runs through the key contact areas of the sole of the sock, which I think is good, it's smart, and it's better than what you get from some other brands. So you can see key contact areas being the forefoot, through the midfoot where your foot would be touching the boot, because you don't want more grip than you need. That's actually a really bad thing. And then through the heel as well, running up the back of the heel a little bit, which is a nice touch into the heel of your boot just to stop you sliding up and down. Now again, let's take things like the tape design socks and the steps grip socks. Neither of these have the elements running up into the heel, so they haven't gone that far, and they don't have that anatomical design of the elements running through the base of the sock. So there's definitely been some thought and some design elements gone into this. And then if you consider just these circular elements that all run through here, which are fine, but this seems to just be more logical so that the sock can bend and move just that little bit better. So in terms of grip elements, they're perfectly grippy, and I actually think that the design they've gone for here is actually quite good. In terms of how well they hold on to their grip, you can see from these they have been used a fair amount without it being excessive, and through the heel the grip seems to rub off quite quickly, but through the forefoot I have not had any problems at all. The grip itself is not any better or worse than any other grip sock that's designed in this way that's out on the market, really. Other elements to look at, we've got the top of the sock here. So you've got two areas which are a little bit thinner for a bit of ventilation, that stretchy compression area. Now, again, this is fine, but it does make the materials used, the way it's constructed, I do feel like this feels less premium and less enjoyable to wear when you compare it even to stuff that's around it, like the steps grip sock, for example. It's just not quite as nice, it's not quite as comfortable, but you are paying less than nearly every other grip sock. When we look at the actual upper part of the sock here, this again is fairly standard across what you would expect of socks of this type. It is an elasticated tube and it holds on to your calf pretty well. What you don't want this sliding down, and it does a decent job. There's no complaints here. Again, like look, tape design the same, steps the same. They're all socks of this style, look very similar, they work in a very similar way, and there's nothing wrong with what's been done here. It's all right. I do have one major problem with the Pure grip socks, and it's not exclusively to Pure. It applies to most other grip socks that are made in this manner, and we'll get onto that in just a second. But I also just quickly want to do a brief comparison of the Pure with the cheapest grip socks that I could go out and find and just buy from a major retailer, which are these Unisport grip socks. These, I believe, are €7. You can buy them from the Unisport website, and they're terrible. Like, I cannot recommend these in any way. These are a bad pair of socks. There's almost nothing I like about them. So if you are looking to get grip socks and go cheaper, you don't. Like, these are not worth it, if I'm being honest with you. And then we can, on top of that, we can look at things that are more expensive. So we can look at True Socks, we can look at the Falca grip socks, and somewhere in here I've got a pair of Light Guard grip socks. All of these, without question, are better than the Pure grip socks, but you at least double the price that you pay. It's that simple. We're not going to get into it any more than that. They're better, but they're significantly more expensive. So if this isn't in your budget, which I completely understand, even if it's in your budget, why would you, like, it's a lot of money for a pair of socks, just bin that off. Then we also want to take a quick look at non-grip socks. So this is a pair of Nike Crew socks, which I think everyone's been caught up, and we'll get into this a little bit in another video, with grip sock mania, and everyone's like, I must have grip socks, I must have grip socks. Do you really need grip socks? These are €10, and they're some of the best socks that you can go out and buy, in my opinion. And if I'm going to be completely honest, because of the issue that I'm about to get into, these, the steps, the tape design, I would rather wear the Nike Crew than I would any of these style of grip socks. And this is why. So I'm going to put some images up with me wearing these with a few different boots, and you can see that, and this isn't exclusive to Pure grip socks, by the way, this applies to any grip sock that's basically made in this manner, that it just bunches up in the heel. It takes me longer to sort out the sock and make sure everything gets in place and isn't bunched up and I don't have creases here and there, because yeah, okay, great, it's got grip elements, but that also means when you're putting your boots on, the grip elements are in the way. They actually act by pulling the sock backwards, and it's just a pain in the ass, basically, and I don't like it. I think it's hard to put on. I think it makes it more difficult. I don't like having to sort it out. I don't like the sensation, and I think that the Pure grip socks, while I praised what they tried to do with the different elements in the heel here, especially, it just makes it worse because it just pulls on the back of your boot and makes it stick more. It just takes me too long to sort my socks out, and I just don't like it. I think it's pointless. And that brings me back around to my point of I would rather wear the Nike Crews. I don't need to wear the grip socks. I don't need to spend this much money on a pair of grip socks, even before shipping, when just a regular pair of Crew socks is actually more comfortable. I think is a higher quality sock. And like I say, I'm not getting on Pure here exclusively, but they definitely go into that bracket. We're just going to take a quick look as well at this lovely little pink pair. I got these from Tokyo Football, and they are basically the epitome of the cheap grip sock, like stupid cheap. Like the amount that I got these from Tokyo Football from is absolute madness. However, you will notice it's a tube sock top with some ventilation through here and here, and some elements on the bottom. Do they remind you of anything? These are all modified versions of this sock, which is stupid cheap. And you're just getting charged a premium for slightly modified versions that, if I'm being quite honest, aren't significantly better in almost any way, okay? The materials might be slightly better. Pure have gone for a different type of arrangement of the pads on the bottom, but none of them are that special. And honestly, for me, none of them are worth my money. So I've got to applaud Josh and Pure for trying something and for delivering as best they could within some constraints. They obviously wanted to make it cheap, and they've gone for that cheap sock style, but they have given us anatomical shapes, they've given us sizes, they've given us a different design to try and aid that rubber element on the bottom. But when it comes down to it, is this a product that I can sit here and 100% recommend to you guys? And the answer is no. Some of that is because I don't like the Pure grip sock specifically, but most of it is because I don't think this particular style of grip sock is worth your money in general. I just don't think they achieve what they're supposed to achieve, and you get overcharged for an end product. If you want to buy grip socks, unfortunately, in my opinion, you have to spend some big money. And if you don't want to spend that money, then save yourself some money, get yourself something like a Nike Crew. This is my recommendation. And this pair was a $5 because they were on sale. Can't really complain about that. I'll try and stick links to most of what I've got here down in the comments if you do want to pick something up. But yeah, that's my take on Pure grip socks and generally socks. If you want to see more on grip socks, let me know what grip socks you want to see reviewed down in the comments. Do like the video, get subscribed to the channel, and if you can help us out, please head to patreon.com/bootwizard. That's all from me here. Have a good one. and I'll see you soon. Oh, that was awful. Wasn't even close.